Hello and welcome to ATFX's Bank of Japan review. First of all, I'd like to invite you all to subscribe to the channel so we can update you regularly with all the new things that are happening in the market. And there is a lot happening in the market, as we know. So just to crack into this one as quickly as possible. First, we're looking at the Bank of Japan, but you cannot ignore what we've just had overnight in the market, which is the Federal Reserve Bank. So, right, let's get straight into this Bank of Japan decision. So, here's the dollar yen, which we'll be paying very close attention to. Fed did cut by 50 basis points. And if you'd been asking me about this time tomorrow, that if we got that 50-point base, I would have been expecting to see the dollar get hit quite hard. Now, that did happen. And here's the initial reaction. As it gets pushed down lower, and we got nearly down to challenging these previous lows that we'd seen just a few short days ago, and this trend line support around 140. But the reaction from the market then has gone completely the other way because we got that 50 basis points from the Fed. But then they've come out and said, look, don't expect these rate cuts to continue at this pace, and they're pricing in just another 50 basis points of cuts in before the end of the year, which is much less than the market wanted, and that's why we've seen this move. But as you can see, this is dollar yen, and it has been really choppy. If you look, we've been down to nearly 140, and we've been up to 144 today, and we're back. Even in those markets, it's very thin and very fast moving. And I think because of this and because of what we're seeing from the Fed, the Bank of Japan tomorrow is going to be very, very crucial. So let's have a look at what we're really expecting from the Bank of Japan. But we're expecting them to remain hawkish, but they're probably going to hold rates this time. So there's a very slight chance that they could hike rates. If they did hike rates, you would expect to see this dollar yen come right back into this range and challenge these previous lows, which are about 139.50. There you go, 139.56. The trend line support slightly higher than that, about 139.70 where we're currently sitting. Conversely, if we see them come out less hawkish rather than dovish, less hawkish than expected, then we could see this move exacerbate and really start to grind back up higher to the 145, 146 levels, and then even looking to challenge the high we got earlier this month, which was 147.25-ish. That's what we're looking at. So the interesting thing as well, we have to be prepared with the Bank of Japan is we do not know exactly what time it's going to come out now. It's normally about 24 hours from now. So Tokyo lunchtime is what we normally look for any time around about now for the Bank of Japan. And it does just start to hit your screens, and then the market will react. And given the volatility, and I can't overemphasize this month, we've had nearly 4 big figures just in the last session or so. We're expecting to see big moves on it, and we will see, so obviously we'll have the rate decision, then we'll have the comments, then we've got the press conference and the statement. That is how we're going to be measuring this Bank of Japan. I think talking to guys in Tokyo and on the trading desks in Japan, there is an expectation there. I feel that we might get this slightly more hawkish lean, and that could really bring us back down into these ranges and back down fairly hard. At the moment, looking at the charts at the moment, we'd probably update, and resistance will be at 144 at the moment, but that could well break in the next few sessions or hours, really. And support will be down here. So there's a big range to play in. So really interesting trading conditions at the moment. The Fed gave what a lot of investors wanted, and then kind of took back at the same time. Gave and then took back within like a short hour. We could get a similar experience from the Bank of Japan. I think we're probably going to get this hawkish hold, which is what a lot of people are leading to. If it does, we should see the yen appreciate. It's going to remain being a very, very tricky trade against the dollar, as everything is at the moment, as the market digests this latest Fed update. There may be some more ground to be gained on the crosses, so maybe you're going to be looking at euro yen. Sterling yen will be another feature. We've got the Bank of England before that. One of the other guys will be covering that later in this session. So really interesting trading times, plenty of opportunities. I think if we get that hawkish hold, we'll probably see the yen appreciate across the board. But for the moment, volatility reigns. I think you've just got to trade what you see. But overall, generally, the consensus in the market is that we sell rallies. So bear that in mind. How far that rally is, that's the big question everyone's asking. So good luck with your trading. Thanks for watching ATFX. And once again, please do subscribe to the channel.